If you don't respect time, you will never be wealthy, you will never be successful, you will never be mighty. Only poor folks, inwardly and outwardly, care nothing about timing, because timing is... God is telling us over and over and over in nature, in creation, in procreation, that timing is everything. You can't be fruitful out of season. Somebody shout, teach me to know my season. Help me with my timing. You can be right about what you said, but wrong about when you said it, and do more damage than you did good. It's not about right and wrong, it's about timing. Right information delivered at the wrong time can tear a marriage up. Why does God have me here this morning? How does this apply to my life? What is God saying to me? Why am I watching this particular message at this particular time in my life? What in my life needs to be better timed? You can't have a new season until you are willing to say goodbye to the season you had. Over the 65 years of my life, I don't think I knew it when I started. I started preaching at 19. I started pastoring at 21. I don't think I knew it then, but I know it now. The best things in life takes time. When I was younger, I was impatient because I had the naivety of thinking that dreams would come quickly. But the best things in life take time. From simple things like food, preparation, to more complicated issues of parenting and marriage, the best things in life take time. People who don't have time to cook don't cook well, because the best things in life take time. You can get married, you can have a wedding in 30 minutes, but it takes years to have a marriage. The best things in life take what? It is a sharp contrast between being rich and being wealthy. You can hit the lottery, receive an inheritance. You can be catapulted from rags to riches, and you can be rich quick. Though many define wealth differently than how I will today, true wealth isn't just about money, but it is about the lessons you learn while struggling upward. If you have money without wisdom, you will soon be parted from your money. The best things in life take time, takes relationships. You've got the money, but because it was given to you quickly, you didn't build the infrastructure to sustain it. You don't have the relationships to sustain it. You don't have the information to sustain it. And most people who hit the lottery, 70 to 80% of them go broke within 5 years. You can't imagine that you could hit that much money and lose it. But the truth of the matter is, God is teaching us that the best things in life take time. There are things that you learn from struggling. There are things that you learn from tests and trials and trial and error. Some of my best teachers were failure. It takes time to do well. It takes even longer to be well. Let's listen at the words of Solomon when he talks out of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 2. And listen at Solomon, the wise man, the wise man. He says, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. He says, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. You got purpose, but do you understand season and time? Now, we read over that quickly, but we really don't think about it, because if we thought about it, we would understand that some people are seasonal. Some relationships are seasonal. Some opportunities are seasonal, and yet when we see the seasons change, we think the blessing has ceased. But it is not that the blessing has ceased, it is that the season has changed. There's a great deal, I got a lot of trees in my yard. There's a great deal of difference between how my yard looks in the spring and how it looks in the fall. And by the time it gets to winter, quite frankly, the trees are ugly and barren and destitute. And if you came in the winter and saw it, you would have no idea of how beautiful it would be if it takes time. There is a time to be born, and there is a time to die. If I had time, I'd talk about they are very similar, birth and death. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Now listen at what he says. There's a time to plant and there's a time to pluck up that which is planted. Do you know the difference in your life? The difference between knowing when to plant and when to pluck. Have you ever asked God, maybe you've asked him when to plant, but have you ever asked him when to pluck up? Or are you intent on keeping that which is planted to the destruction of plucking up that which you have become accustomed to? You can't have a new season until you are willing to say goodbye to the season you had. I call it the art of letting go. The spirit of release, not wrestling, releasing. Some of you are wrestling to hold on to something that God is trying to take away from you, and you need to release it and simply let it go. That was that season. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I had to let go of childish things, childish thinking. I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child. If you are still talking the way you were talking 10 years ago, I've got bad news for you. You have a deformity. A spiritual dysfunction that keeps your thoughts in one dimension. That means you can't fall in love with your thoughts. I want all the stubborn people to say amen. Because if you are stubborn with your thoughts, you delay your next season. I have watched some of the greatest people in every industry you can imagine. I've had the privilege of having relationships with people who were at the top of their game in just about every industry you can imagine. Those that leave the greatest impact understand timing. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. Say it with me. Timing is everything. Say it again. Many people don't realize that part of the art of baking is timing. There are a lot of people that cook but don't bake because part of the art of baking is timing. The difference between a dry cake and a moist cake is, come on. Talk to, the difference between a moist cobbler and a dry cobbler is whenever you taste a dry one, you know they left it in the oven. Oh, come on. Oh, somebody knows what I'm talking about. You've got to understand it's timing in baseball. It's not just skill. It is the timing that causes the batter to be effective at swinging the bat. You can have the right swing, but if you swing at the wrong time, you won't have the impact that you should have had. Some of you are trying to do the right swing, but you're swinging at the wrong time. You're in such a hurry that you're swinging before the ball can strike the target because you are more moved by the crowd than you are by the ball. Timing is everything. Many people don't realize that not only is timing everything in baseball and baking, it is also everything when it comes to comedy or speaking or music. It's about timing. It's not just can you read music, can you keep time? It's not can you tell a joke, but can you time the joke? It's not can you speak a message, can you use timing to convey information? You can give great information out of time and be an incompetent speaker because you don't understand timing. Everything is a rhythm. Everything is a rhythm. God is a rhythm. Breathing is a rhythm. Circulation is a rhythm. Heartbeat is a rhythm. Pulse is a rhythm. Everything that is alive has a rhythm. Birth has a rhythm. A woman's body has a rhythm. God is telling us over and over and over in nature, in creation, in procreation, that timing is everything. You can't be fruitful out of season. Somebody shout, teach me to know my season. Help me with my timing. You can be right about what you said, but wrong about when you said it, and do more damage than you did good. It's not about right and wrong, it's about timing. Right information delivered at the wrong time can tear a marriage up, can cause a child to feel defeated, can stop a loan from going through, can stop the house from being built, can stop you from having the peace you ought to have. You're worried about being right. You need to be worried about timing. Timing is everything. Timing is absolutely everything. One thing I know for sure, I came to Dallas at the right, 38 years old, it was the right time. Any sooner would have been a disaster. I wasn't ready for it. Any later would have been too late. It wasn't ready for me. It wasn't just the right time in my life, it was the right time in Dallas. It was the right time in history. You have to do things at the right time or you're not going to have the effect that you would have had because you don't understand timing, because timing is what? Timing is what? Wake up. Timing is what? Wake up. Timing is what? Timing is absolutely everything. I've given this illustration before, but I want to paint it again for you that have not heard it. Harlan Sanders built an amazing business because he did the right thing at the right time. KFC came at a time in the American history that women had just started to go to work. It came at a time in history that families were still sitting around the table. It solved the problem. How can we simulate a family dinner without the woman being home to cook? Doing the right thing at the right time. It wasn't just about the chicken is good. It was that the need was great. It solved the problem and it came at the right. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Let me make this clear. If he opened up now, he'd go bankrupt. You can sustain it at this level, but you can't start it at this level because now if you open it up, they want to know, is it gluten-free? Do you have vegan chicken? I'm a pescatarian. They were not asking those questions at that time. Success is as much about timing as it is about anything else. Do you know what time it is in your life? I've got a watch on my wrist. I've got a phone, both of them backing up so that I know what time it is in the day. But do I know what time it is in my life? Is it time to put away childish things? I can only be fruitful in my season. The Bible said you shall bring forth fruit in your season. Your leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever you do shall prosper. You have to know when it's your season, and you have to know when it's over. You have to know when to hold it. You have to know when to fold it. You cannot see folding as failure. It's all about timing. Oh, talk to me. It's all about timing. Timing is everything. I have preached this text many times. Why does God have me here this morning? How does this apply to my life? What is God saying to me? Why am I watching this particular message at this particular time in my life? What in my life needs to be better timed? I made my decisions this morning according to time. I took my shower according to what time it was. I got dressed according to what time it was. I had to keep track of the time, because if I lose track of time, I will always be late. And if I am late, I lose. Because timing is... Why would I want to be in a service and the glory moved and I missed it? If you miss the first song when the choir starts singing "The Lord is blessing me right now," and the whole audience was up front, and you had young people dancing off of old music and old people scooting from side to side, you miss one of the building blocks of which I'm standing on right now, because timing is... If you don't respect time, you will never be wealthy, you will never be successful, you will never be mighty. Only poor folks, inwardly and outwardly, care nothing about timing, because timing is... Now, for the benefit, before I give the lesson, let me make sure that you understand the story. In the story, we have a certain man who had his servants to sow good seed in the field. And while they slept, and I used to preach against them sleeping until I realized that everybody has to go to sleep sometime. It is impossible for you to stay up around the clock. The enemy comes in while they are asleep and plants the weeds or the tare while they're sleeping. In the story, they don't wake up the next morning and know the enemy has been there, because the enemy has planted it in such a way that when they wake up in the morning, they do not notice any change. Notice the timing. It was not the next day. But while they did not notice it, the evil or weeds were sown in the wheat.
Help us.
Anybody who understands, don't let me get ahead of myself. Anybody who understands this understands that there are important truths to be learned. Lesson number one: it is naive to think that the planting of good exempts us from the presence of bad. It is naive to think that the planting of good exempts us from the presence of bad. This is important for us to understand. Just because God allows wheat to be planted doesn't mean that weeds are restricted. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The kingdom is like this. The kingdom is like this. So we have to be able to produce in the presence of weeds. So for all of you who are waiting for all the weeds to be gone before you produce the wheat, You are not digging deep enough into this text, because this text declares there will never be a day that you can be wheatful without being weedful. God allows the wheat to be planted. That doesn't mean that the weeds are restricted. Wheat is planted with great intentionality. Wheat is planted with great intentionality. In other words, wheat is not going to grow in this ground if it is not planted. It is not a natural result of the climate, the soil, the rain, and the sunshine. It has to be planted. Nobody succeeds accidentally. Nobody wins a marathon accidentally. Nobody wins the Olympics accidentally. Nobody gets a master's degree accidentally. Nobody gets a diploma accidentally. Nobody passes a GED accidentally. Nobody gets a promotion accidentally. Just because you pray doesn't mean you win. This is work. This is sweat. This is labor, because this is agriculture. And agriculture means that the intention of sowing the seed is that I might have wheat. And the intention of having wheat is that I might have bread. From seed to wheat to bread is going to take. I can't plant seed today and eat bread tonight, because timing is. So if I am going to be seedful, I have to be patient for the seed to grow first down and then up. You didn't get that. It's going to first grow down and then up. Some of you are standing over your life talking about, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. I keep sowing and I don't see nothing. The seed grows down before it grows up. You're not supposed to see it, but just because you don't see it doesn't mean that the roots are not growing in the soil. And if you wait a little while, it is going to go from seed to wheat, and from wheat to bread. And there is work in between every stage. The seed is work, the weed is work, the bread is work. You cannot eat any better than you work. Now somebody say your blessing is going to be work. When you get through dancing and shouting about the promise of God, understand that you're going to have to break some sweat. You're going to have to put some effort in it. You're going to have to grind the wheat. You're going to have to pulverize it. You can't just bring the wheat in and make bread until you crush it. It's got to be crushed. It's got to be made into a usable form. And so it doesn't mean that God hasn't blessed you with the bread. It could mean that you haven't put in the work to go from seed from seed to, oh, you're listening this morning. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm going from seed to wheat to bread. I might not be ready for consumption right now, but I'm in process and I'm going somewhere. And don't look down at me because I'm not bread. I may be in the wheat stage, I may be in the seed stage, but I am on my way to a place that God has destined for me. Who am I talking to this morning? Whoever I'm talking to, God says, hang on in there. I'm not finished with you yet. I'm taking you through process, and at the right time, I'm going to take you from seed to